Hey everyone, we just went 6 ER and got the most important defense there, shock launchers. Decided to make this compact base which, even though I think it's a bit simple to hit, might be difficult for a lot of people, especially seekers, rocket choppas, or even using heavy zooks, just easy to mess up with these shock launchers here. And we'll try it a few hits. And the compact might work for just a few days, at least until most people have troop damage or especially bombers down the line. But here it's just getting used to these new 6ER attacks. Got this face right here, guy with extra troop damage already. So maybe just a hit from... well, I guess we can do a split hit. He has 40 building damage, but he has no normal mine, so maybe taking a few rifles. Something like 1 rifle, 2 zooks down the middle. Well, on the right we can do just 1 heavy zook. So something like this. And then later on the left we can just do 1 rifle and 2 zooks. Taking Sparky's Critter Swarm just to add more value. So we'll do something like this. And then we can use Sparky's Critters right away. Just get some going to that cannon and stuff. And at some point maybe shock that micro and go from there. In fact, we can maybe shock in just a few seconds. Get that going now. Then pretty soon start doing the heavy zook. Kinda unlucky that the mortar killed a few zooks, but can still shield just in case. So letting that go, we already did a second shock in the micro. And then now we can do these other guys. So maybe do 1 more critter and then pretty soon start shocking that shock launcher. Because in these troops here, they don't always have to go all the way to the left side, as long as it goes somewhere to these left 2 ERs. Even do 1 shield for some boom mines. And I think 1 more critter and then a shock. Get 1 going right there, shock launcher, machine guns. And now just keep everyone going. Maybe a few critter swarms in just a bit. So get 1 going right now. Because not a lot of zooks on this side. Really want that to speed up. So maybe saving for something for that last machine gun. We just have GB for a shield. And now just a matter of time. Got some zooks on the left side, some on the right. And maybe just save for 1 more critter or something. And it's not a super fast time, we might get like a 2:15 or so. And kind of unlucky because some zooks died on the right side. Let's see if it's good enough. And on this one, few seconds, but getting that win. Because 6ER is still just 1 ramp, I think it's still down to either you do like 1 flare early to get a good split, or just do some delay drops. So one thing we could have done better is done a shield early, lost a fair amount of zooks. And otherwise, I think for the most part it was okay. Maybe didn't need this shock this early, because then we kind of lacked GB for the last part. Or even just ignoring this shield. Because those machine guns, once we ran out of GB, tore a bunch of zooks apart. Otherwise it's just delaying a few boats to the left side, and getting through the base. And it's a little nasty meta, at least without a super strong meat shield, just got heavies or rifles. And I guess it makes sense that they want to have heavy choppas at 7 ER to not have the same old heavy choppa bomber so early, but at just a cost of doing a lot more difficult hits. But here we have that compact with shock launchers, laser beam, and these ones now I like doing just a heavy Zuka hit. Doing first just 2-2 in the middle, and then doing her bomb stuff to get really just that mortar down, because then you can avoid barraging out those mines and dealing with that side. And then we'll do 1 heavy zook on the right, just trying to get other angles to get buildings down. Because the more angles you can hit the compact, then the faster it dies. And we'll delay the last boats on the left side. So get Sparky first, just half our boats here, and then already do a bomb stuff. 1 zook, 1 heavy on the right side. So do that right here. Start shocking the laser pretty soon, just watching until it turns. But I think right now, and then doing just 1 barrage for those mines. Get our last heavy Zook going now. And I like one shield after the shock launchers hit, because our second shots, in most cases, clip a few Zooks. So letting these guys go, we'll do third and final shock in that laser. And now just let these guys go. The other shocks I like to do is one on each side. So on both shock launchers, let's get one shield going, keep some Zooks alive, same with heavies. Let them go for a bit. We'll do maybe a few bomb stuff down the middle, get some good value against that compact, and our last shock on those machine guns on the back end. So keep on doing bomb stuff, and then maybe just a few more times. Hit a few machine guns still here and there, but still not an easy hit. So that's the idea of just doing heavy Zooks and delaying a few boats, and getting one more win. That first bomb stuff on that mortar is pretty important, because it stops Zooks from going on that side, dying to mines, and it stops the other troops on the right side from going there. So even if that's the only building you get with Sparky, it's still pretty worth it. Otherwise, you gotta make sure you shock that laser. You've done too many hits where we're like a second too late and lose a bunch of Zooks, so better to shock it early, and otherwise just dropping things on either side and doing shocks left and right. You can do shield as heavy start to die going through mines, and then just watch out for the machine guns on the back end. Now those compacts could get a lot dirtier once people have critter launchers, but that's why our eyes are forward too on going to bombers. Because bombers on this base, well, they outrange pretty much every building. It's just boom cannons, shock launchers, and I guess a protos to worry about. So in a few days we can get those, but in the meantime, still running heavy Zooks. Here another compact, but I think same kind of hit can work. We'll just Sparky's bomb stuff for that mortar, barrage out just a few mines, and then keep on shocking that laser. So get her going first, then these boats right here, and start doing one barrage. Got our Zook and heavy on the right side. And now just watching that laser. Maybe got a shock in just a few seconds. So watching it look, and now it's a good time for a shock. And usually after that shock, then is a good time to drop the last few boats. So letting these guys go, shock it one more time. Then do that shield after the shock launchers hit once or twice. Because you don't want them to clip our Zookas and then a bunch of them die. We got one final shock on that laser. And after that third and final shock, it's really about shocking the shock launchers. So we'll do one on this side, get a shield going, and then maybe save another shock towards the left. So in fact we can get that going right now. Shock launcher, mortar, a bunch of those guys. And in this hit there's a lot less Zooks. So maybe do a shield instead, and then now start doing bomb stuff. Because if the meat shield is down, we really gotta worry about those machine guns. So letting these guys go. Still a bunch of Zooks dying. It is gonna be a slower time because not too many Zooks. But try and do a few more bomb stuff, maybe Sparky's critters distract. This hit is a lot dicier because of those machine guns in the back. But still trying one more bomb stuff for that last machine gun. And getting a bit slower but still through the base. So 213, not a crazy time, but see if it's good enough. And on this one right here, taking that win. And still think the compact can work for maybe another day or so. Especially once we get critter launchers, then it can add up to how disgusting it is. But if there is a new base, we can swap to it too. Either way, the next steps are getting critters and critter launchers. With worst case, the day after being bombers, and then we can deal with most bases. Here we have a 5 ER. It's kind of like the base we were running, the anti-seeker one for 5s. Which on this one, I like going, flaring everything on this side, and just delaying maybe one heavy Zook over here. So we'll do something like this. 3 heavies, 3 Zooks, And I think Sparky can take her critter ability and then just go like that. So 3 heavies, 3 Zooks, and Sparky. And then really just a few flares on this side. You want to try to do a bit of a split, going to that right ER and everyone else on the left. So maybe still 3 flares in total. And our last flare should be kind of at the midpoint. So doing our last one right here. Then even 1 critter swarm. After a few seconds, do our last few boats. And now maybe letting these guys go. I mean, the heavies are dying, so really just want to shock the splash. So getting rid of those machine guns right there. Maybe 1 more shield. And I think just keep on shocking the machine guns. Get 1 going right now. Get another critter swarm. And on the bottom, those Zookas are fine. So really it's just alternating between those two. Can do 1 shock on those machine guns. And maybe after a few seconds, just do our last flare. That guy's not going to finish. And go for the last ER. It was the one downside of making this space. Against heavy Zooks, it's kinda not the best. Micro's gonna be online in just a few seconds. Well, I guess that's not good. Okay, I take that back about this space being kinda bad against heavy Zooks. If you're dumb and too aggressive like us, then that happens. But at least he didn't finish either, so should come off with the win. And even though we could keep pushing, we'll stop right there. I think anyone who just went for shock launchers should at least try to make a diamond push. And like we said before, our next steps is getting critters, 10% more building health, and then critter launchers. Even though troop damage may help in the short term, you really want a big defense, and then big offense like bombers. Those two are way more important than troop damage, and it only costs waiting like 1 extra day. But just a little bit longer to max out 6 ER, and we can see how it goes. But that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.